Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to the App Store to download a app named iSH Share. It is a Linux-like share which we can give the instructions, and we are going to run Python. So first we're going to the App Store, and then we type iSH Share. And then here is this one, which I have already downloaded. This is the first thing. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to email ourselves to the HTML file, which we are going to use in our web. So in this case, you have to name it as index, because we are going to place it in the root folder, and it's going to be automatically read if you name as index. And let's click open. So you can see it's very simple. It's my first heading and my first paragraph. That is it. And what we are going to do is we are going to save it. Actually, before that, we have to activate the file system. So we go to the file. Then here you click edit, and then here you have to enable the iSH. So okay. So now we can save the HTML file in the root folder, which is right here. So go back to our email, and now we click so we're going to save it in files, and right here iSH pop up, and we're going to save it in roots, and then save. So now if you go look in the files, you can see inside the root we already save it as root index, right? So right now we have done the stuff, and we're going to open the iSH share. So the first thing, we're going to turn it on by clicking on this. So this actually pop up the command screen. And then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to add Python. And in order to add Python, we just click 3, return. Okay, so after you type the command, it says fetch. And now it's actually installing the Python, and you just have to wait a little bit. So now it says Python 3 has already added, and then what we can do next is we are going to launch the server. So we type. So after we type in this command, we click in return. Okay, so right now you can see on the screen, surfing HTTP on 0.0.0.0 port 8000. That means on the port 8000 of this device, we are surfing the HTTP file. And how do we get the first few numbers? So we're going to check our internet settings. So we go to settings, Wi-Fi, click here. Then you can see right here IP address. This is the one for device, which is my iPad. And then we go to our computer, and then we type the IP address of my iPad. And then along with the port number, which we have seen is 8000. So right now .8000. And we click on visit. And you can see right now my web page is showing. So as you can see on my iPad, it also shows 102. This is the address of my computer. So it's basically saying my computer has just visited the HTTP file. And so right now it's basically I can visit it within the same network. And if I using devices from outside, for example, I connected to another router, then we're not going to visit it. So as you can see, I can give you an example. which I'm going to connect to a remote desktop, which is in another location. And so for example, I open it, you can see it's another place. And nothing is going to happen because it's not in the same network. And in order to get that going, we have to do another method. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to port forwarding. And to do that, we go to the address of our router. So typically it would be 192.168.1.1, or it be some others. So you have to do is look at your instructions menu, and for mine is this one. And after I go to here, I just log in. The next thing we're going to do is go to the access control, and right here we have the port forwarding. And so basically we're going to add a port forwarding. So basically what it does is when we have some other device from the external network is visiting us. So for example, if they use the HTTP protocol, which is port 80, we're going to send it to my iPad, which is 192.168.0.3. So right now we give it a name. Let's say iOS, and service will be other protocol TCP, and the external host we need to just leave it blank. An internal host is a name which is a local domain name for my iPad, which I'm using. So it'd be 192.168.0.3, which we have previously found in the settings of our iPad. And here external network, we're going to write 80, because 80 is the HTTP protocol port which they are using. Internal port, we are writing 8000 because on the iSH app, after we start it, it says it's using port 8000. Then we click add. So right now you can see we have the protocol enabled, which means if the external user visiting the address of our router, it will go to internal port 8000 and the internal host of my iPad. So right now, if we go get the address of my router, so basically we can see the public IP address. This one we copy, and then right now we go to our remote desktop, which is in another place, not in the same IP address. So we're going to Control V, and then we're going to enter the port number, which is 80, and get going. So as you can see, right now we have entered my network, which is great. But this link, we need to get it easier for people to remember. We don't use the address, and therefore we are going to use dynamic IP settings. And here is a dynamic DNS. In the beginning, it's turned off. Dynamic DNS client thing is blank. So what you're going to do is you're going to fill this area. So we're going to use no IP as an example. So we go to Google, search no IP. So right here you can click sign up. If you are a first time user, it's completely free. As you can see, free DNS. You have some ads, but it's alright, it's free. And for me, I have already, you can see after signing you go to you can see the host name right here, free dynamic DNS host name here, this one. So you just copy it and then go to your Wi-Fi setting. So you just paste the host name and then you enter the email address of your node, for example, like aa@gmail.com, and then you also enter your password, and then you click apply. So okay, right now we have the dynamic host, and then go. You can see right here it's working, and if we go to an external IP address, which is right here, we click Ctrl V, and you can see it's working. To turn off the server, we just click this, and then it's stopped.